15 more until 100, 100, 100.
We're not there yet, though, because we're here on episode number 85 of Stream of Thought. Can you believe 85 episodes?
I know.
And what a way to ring in number 85 than probably one of our most favorite topics. Are we just going to get rid of the first part talking about weather?
Oh, we riff on that for like 5 seconds.
For like 5 seconds.
I don't remember what we actually talk about.
Part. Well, we transition into chiropractic.
Oh, yeah. Rix's trip to the chiropractor.
Shannon Boyd.
Dr. Shannon Boyd.
She works her
magic.
So
he went for the first time. I've been going now for about 3 months.
I was what they call adjusted.
Adjusted, yes.
And then we sort of bounced back and forth on a couple of different topics. But we spend some time perusing.
We find an old newspaper from 25 years ago and look through some of the advertisements and some of the price points on some things. That was pretty fun.
Michael
for about
Jordan's
5 minutes.
Retirement.
You probably won't be able to tell. Maybe you do. But then we just had nothing to talk about. So we just took a 15-minute intermission.
Which we removed.
Yeah, which we removed. Found something interesting. So hopefully that segue is... flawless.
Interesting education.
Yes.
Interesting. Can we really classify that?
Yeah.
All right.
And then kind of end on talking about TV.
Yeah.
Some of our top 5 TV shows of all time.
What's yours? Let us know.
So with that being said, episode number 85, Stream of Thought. We hope you enjoy.
That was like a diary bomb.
It was fine. Alright. So, how was downtown Chicago?
I didn't go downtown Chicago.
I thought you were gonna. Okay. I'm gonna go regardless. You know, you can come along, but I'm definitely going.
Well, I was gonna go this weekend.
I think you were gonna go last night.
If you were going.
Oh, I thought you said you were going last night for sure.
I didn't specify. I meant that I was going the weekend, but you were working today, so
yeah,
you couldn't come with. So yeah, no, I'm heading down today. I wasn't gonna go 2 days in a row because
okay,
it's Minnesota Victor's birthday.
Yeah,
so he's visiting University of Chicago Law School.
He's gonna be visiting the whole week, considering all the snow that's in.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I don't know how that's gonna
weekend
work with
trip
his flight
extended
out.
until the following weekend.
Seriously, until the 18 inches of snow finally melts. That's brutal, man. But Chicago, you know, we're in that little safe space right now. It's kind of nice.
Fuck this safe space. It's like 37 degrees outside and it's cold and rainy.
Yeah, but I did.
What?
What?
Nothing. It was just
going on.
It was just me continuing to complain with the middle. It's the middle of April and this weather
great
still
way to
sucks.
start off our podcast.
Bitching about
stuff. Bitching about weather of all things. Like people don't get enough of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, got a chance to see Shannon.
Tell me about that. Yeah, tell me about that experience.
Which she was on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I finally got a chance to set up an appointment with her, go get adjusted for the first time.
Yeah.
I've never been adjusted by a chiropractor.
Yeah.
Was she the first one to adjust you too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd never been to one before.
It was just the most... it was a very pleasant experience.
Yeah.
It was unusual just because, I mean, there were certain things that she twisted that popped my... And it wasn't like, oh, this feels good, like, yeah, but it felt good. Like, it felt like, oh my God, like, pressure has been relieved. Like, I suddenly feel like I can, breathe a little clearer, and was able to ask her all about the, stuff that I had always just experienced over the course of my life and just had never thought to check out or anything like that. And she's just, oh, yeah, well, here's sort of what's causing this and that and the other thing, and it's basically all related to the spine and being able to stretch out in proper ways. The tingling, I wake up at night with tingling in my arm. She's like, there's ways to avoid that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. I forgot I was supposed to do these exercises on my own.
Yes, she gave me exercises,
an
exercise to do. She's like, before you even get out of bed, here's what you need to do. Because my back curves a little bit. So she's just like, lay your back flat on the ground, do that, 3 to 5 times for a couple of seconds. I'm like, wow, this is, I mean, I would not just the concept of my mom, when she had to go through, she had to use a chiropractor many years ago. And it was fine. Like, her experience was fine. But it's one of those things where I wouldn't trust somebody who I already didn't sort of trust or didn't have like a stellar reputation in the field. I'm like, I don't think I would trust a chiropractor probably other than Shannon. That's sort of the exception right there, because I mean, she is you can see how excited she is about her profession, and it shows in just how much she knows about the human body. I'm just like, yeah, this is somebody who loves what they do, and that's the best type of person who you want to go to.
Did you get the when you went there, the first thing did you ever put like the little electric strips on your back and have it like pulsate to loosen up your back at all?
It was a little hammer thing.
Oh yeah, there's that thing too. That's pretty cool.
I didn't have any strips or anything.
So sometimes what she does is there's like these little strips that almost look like they look exactly like when you they're a little strip, and then they have like a cord, tiny little cable that goes to a machine, and it sends electricity through your muscles, and it goes on your back. And she's like, tell me when to stop. And one time I was like, crank it up all the way. Keep going, keep going, keep going. But the thing is like, it's just this constant like, and then, so when you're putting it up, and then when you start it, it starts pulsating. So initially when I was like, oh yeah, that feels good, I'm getting this constant like, vibration that's slowly been building up because she's turning the thing. But then all of a sudden it goes away and it starts pulsating back and forth. So I'm like, oh, this is way stronger than I anticipated. And she's like, yeah, you're not really supposed to use that on your chest because it can like fuck with your heartbeat, especially if you have like a pacemaker.
Yeah, totally.
And so I was joking with her one time. It was like for 5 or 7 minutes, and I was kind of like, this isn't really fun anymore for me. I was thinking that in my head because she had left the room.
Yeah.
I could feel it like coming in through my back under my chest a little bit, and I was like, oh, this might mess with my heart. But no, I committed to this, so I'm going to stick with it. And I joked around, was like, yeah, that wasn't fun. She's like, yeah, I took it down a couple notches from where you said it was good, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, the little gun thing that, the little hammer thing that hits your palm or your chest or your back.
Yeah, she went over my back, and readjusted my back. I wanted to show you, I was pulling up a picture of my legs parallel.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
isn't it crazy?
Like, one of your legs.
Yeah, all she does is like just do this minor little thing, and it almost feels like nothing, and then all of a sudden.
So for the visual, because people can't see.
That's
what she did.
So funny.
Yeah, what she did here, you can. What she did was.
I'm looking at a picture of Rix's legs. He's lying down, face flat, and one of them is
about a heel shorter.
Yeah. About an inch shorter than the other one.
And I was like, well, yeah, Victor had that issue too. And she's like, oh, this is so much more noticeable than Victor's. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah. She's like, yeah, give me your phone. I want to take a picture of it.
Mine was smaller.
And so she's like, oh, okay, adjust it. But yeah, as she's working through, she's like, I can't tell my body. But she's like, oh, your right side is, what was it? Your right side is a little weaker than your left side or something like that, which is weird. I'm right-handed, so you'd think that I would have a stronger right side, but like I was like, yeah, I guess that makes sense, because as she's moving it, she's like, I could tell as she adjusts it and move it again, adjust it, move it again. I'm like, it's easier to do. That's weird. I mean, and by the time it was done, I can move, like.
Yeah, not that I turn your head turn your head to the left and right. Okay, now turn your head to left and right, and then it's like, oh wow, I do have more range of motion going to each side when she does a couple things.
Well, yeah, and that was the final thing is that she takes your head in her palm, turns it to the side, and then
jerks it. It's about to break your neck,
and everything pops, and you're just like, whoa! And then she does it to the other side. You're like, ah, yes, this is great.
It's great. Yeah. What about when she your back right above the spine? And have you had that? Did you get that done?
Yes.
Yes. And it's like, whoa! I didn't know like this pops if you just pull on jerk the skin a little bit above the spine, and one or two vertebrae will pop.
And I couldn't really feel it, but I could hear it.
Yeah,
that was the weird part. Yeah, it's like something's popping in my body. I'm not feeling anything, but and she's like air bubbles pop.
And sometimes too,
accumulate
do the wrist.
Yep.
And the shoulder.
Did the shoulder, and
it's a pleasant experience. I look forward every week going.
Yeah.
That's why when she's like, sometimes it'll be like, oh, like, this only happened really twice, but oh, I can't meet today. Can we do a different day? I'm just like, damn it. I've been looking forward to this.
It's yeah.
Because usually I go on Tuesdays. So by the time Saturday rolls around, I'm like, okay, just a couple more days. And then it's Monday. It's like one more day. And then it's Tuesday. It's, yes, today's the day.
Now, do you, is there also a massage therapist there as well?
Yeah.
Do you see the massage therapist?
I've seen the massage therapist twice.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
I feel like the combo between a chiropractor appointment and a massage, like, really would get those buildup of
and the
air
massage
and
there
out.
Is less expensive than it's like even if you include tip, it's like half the price of some places without tipping them. Okay. Like Health Track, I think it's like $90. No, maybe it's a little bit less than that. It's expensive though to get like an hour massage at Health Track.
The massage Envy, I think, is like $135.
Yeah, that's why the only other time I've gotten massages,
this is absurd.
The only time I've gotten massages, it's like it's either I've gotten one for Christmas or my birthday, or I'll go and it's like new members only, $20 for an hour massage, and then they try and get you to come back, and I'm like, hell no, I ain't coming back.
No,
but yeah, it's a good deal. It
just feels good.
It feels very good. It
feels wonderful. So now that we've sort of orgasmed out about that.
Yeah. So I told you the other day I used my movie pass for the first time a couple days ago.
I'm interested to hear this.
And it was really cool because I had the app and I saw Ready Player One, which you would love, dude. Within the first 20 minutes of this movie, because I saw that movie only because I had Movie Pass. Otherwise, I would not have paid to go see that movie. Mm-hmm. Just like, it looks cool, but I'm not really trying to see it. So I decided to just see it just to utilize my Movie Pass. And within 15 to 20 minutes, I'm just like, wow.
I heard it got really positive.
It is
reviews.
Extremely visually stimulating. And I thought of you because you're the type's like, well, I don't care if there's a story. Like, I'll just read a book. But if it's visually appetizing, then I'll be all about it.
And a good story.
Dude, there's no way that film is not getting nominated for Academy Awards for like best sound or visual editing or like something like that with the aesthetics. It's just really, really fucking crazy of a movie.
But the Movie Pass worked out.
Yeah.
There was no complications or anything.
Yeah. Well, what happened was I was messing around with Movie Pass earlier that day, and I clicked check in just to see, and it said like you're checked in. I'm like, oh, cool. This is weird because I was to my understanding, it has to be. You could check in.
Couple blocks.
Well, the weird thing was I was able to check in from my house, which is a
mile away.
Yep. You're supposed to be within 100 yards of the theater. So it's like, oh, this is weird. Cool. I go to the theater and it's not working. And I'm like, oh, what the heck? Eventually, I figure out, like, I go online really quick. I got there like 10 minutes before the movie started, so I had some time. And I saw what Reddit was saying, and it's just like, oh, within the app, you go to this to do a live chat, and they can reset it. Usually what happens is if you check in, and then 30 minutes go by and you haven't bought your ticket, like, sometimes it's like there's a hiccup. Because it said, like, you already have a pending reservation when I tried to do it. I swiped my thing. He's like, oh, it's not working. So then I tried to check in, but it's like you already had a pending reservation, but you go into the reservations and there's no reservation. Anyway, I got it reset, which was no problem. It just took a few minutes to do. And I saw the movie. But the cool thing was, while I'm trying to figure this out, it kind of became a pain in the ass because it didn't work. And I'm looking through the app to see where this live chat feature is because it's not hard to find. I was probably spent, before I got everything situated, it was probably about 10 minutes of me just trying to look through shit online. Like, this is not being made easy to find. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But in that time span of me trying to figure this out, this kid walks in, looks like he was maybe in high school, and he comes in and he says to the guy, excuse me, sir, I left my phone in my friend's car. Can I use your telephone? And this limp dick asshole's like, oh no, I'm not really allowed to let anyone use the phone. Shut the fuck up. Are you serious, dude? What an asshole. Like, it's a telephone. Yeah. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
And he didn't know what to do because he was also trying to catch the train because he had his Ventra ticket on his phone, which was left in his friend's car and dropped him off at the train station. Oh. And so I said to him, hey man, you can use my phone. And he's like, okay. And by then, I had sent the message to the live chat already. Yeah. So I just had to wait. Yeah. And so he called, but no pickup. He's like, thanks. And he gave it back to me. And within a couple minutes, I got everything situated. And he had walked out. And I felt really bad for him because, one, this guy was being a douchebag, not letting him use his telephone. He's trying to catch the train. He doesn't have a ticket. It's nighttime, which means if you get on the train, you're getting kicked off at the next stop. Mm-hmm. If you don't have a phone, you can't do shit, you know, these days. And so I went out to him, and I asked him, like, hey, are you, your venture tickets on the phone, this and that? And he's like, yeah, dude, I'm trying to go downtown. And so I said to him, like, you know what? I have money. Let me break this 20. I'll give you money for the train ticket. So I break my 20, give him $7, and the look on his face was just like, oh my goodness. Like, the burden was just lifted off of his shoulders. Like, wow. Like, thank you so much. He was super appreciative. He was this kid. He was maybe no more than 20 years old. I don't know.
Younger than you.
Yeah, he was way younger than me. But he was super appreciative, and I was like, man, you know what? And all this happened because my movie pass wasn't working. And in that moment, I was like, why the fuck isn't this shit working? But I'm happy it happened because in that time, I was able to help a kid out who needed help, go into the movie. The previews are still rolling. Everything's okay.
You are one of the few people who I know who would do something like
that.
Yeah. You're very generous.
Yeah.
Wow, what a nice story. Isn't it funny, though, how things sort of line up the way that they're supposed to? I mean, in the same way, too, I think back to when you were getting ready to move to California, and it's like, are there alternatives? Like, I want to leave, like, next week or something like that. You wanted to leave fast.
I wanted to leave right away.
And then it just so happened that the second city happened to sort of fall into place. And
Second City, as a result, also of not going to California, I got my dog.
And your dog.
Went to Second City. There's like probably a couple podcast.
Yeah. Podcast.
Yeah, so there's things that happen. Everything is going to be okay.
Yeah, and I mean it works out. It's just sort of rolling with the flow. And I know I've experienced a lot of that recently. It's very interesting in certain instances how everything can seem to come together, but only after everything seems to sort of fall apart.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, well, maybe there was a reason for this.
For sure.
But yeah, who knows what sort of impact you might have had. He may pass on that act of kindness to somebody else. And isn't that what we want? You just made the world just a little bit better. A little better place.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
So what else is on your mind?
Oh, man.
Should we look through this newspaper for talking points?
For talking points.
So we walk in today, or the other day, and we find a newspaper that is dated October 13th, 1993. The sports section of the Chicago Tribune. Thanks for the memories. A tribute to the unforgettable Michael Jordan. When Michael Jordan left the Bulls after they won 3 championships. Yeah, and this is in extremely good condition. For a newspaper, it's like barely.
So stop fucking it up.
It's like not even yellow. It's barely, like the pages aren't gonna break when you touch them.
No.
But some of these ads. Holy shit! This entire section is on Michael Jordan. Wow. Some of these ads in here for stuff, for shoes and for cars are so 90s. Wow, men's Ultra Flight 34 GT, $40. I wonder how much that was really like with inflation back in the day. $80 pair of shoes.
I know technology. Look at the TV. It's still a box TV. It looks like.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
With a VHS player on top.
A cable box. Yeah. Look at these cars in here. Look at this. You can leasing and what type of Audi is this? Audi. $300 per month with only a $1,500 down payment.
Wow, yeah. I'd like you to find something like that today.
Yeah. Look at oh my goodness, liquor. Wow.
Do they have an entire section on liquor?
They have like a quarter of a page on just bottles of.
You would never see that today.
Di Serono, $15. Di Serono on the rocks. Oh my goodness, Red Label, $12. That's pretty interesting. Crown Royal, $15. What?
You can still find Crown Royal for $15 today.
I don't know about that.
On sale, you can.
No way. Look at this. Old Milwaukee. A case of Old Milwaukee, $4.
You can still find it for $4 today.
After your $3 mail-in rebate. Do they even do that still? Rebates?
Rebates?
Is that even a thing? We're gonna tell you that you're gonna pay this price. We're gonna tell you eventually it'll be this price, but you're gonna forget about it, and we're gonna keep the money.
Great business model.
Emergency road service. Be secure and alert with Fredder and American. No way. They still sold cell phones with a briefcase battery pack?
In 93?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was about when it was coming out.
My mom had one of those in the 80s, I think.
In the 80s?
Yeah.
Oh.
They had cell phones in the 80s. The cell phone was invented in the late 70s. Ameritech. That's a name I haven't heard in about 20 years. Do you remember Ameritech?
No.
They got bought out by AT&T, I think. Or maybe they just went out of business. I can't recall.
So this is about, how many pages is this? 19 pages?
This is 20 pages of Michael Jordan.
Now, do you think that any celebrity today or any sports athlete today would be as venerated as Michael Jordan? Because keep in mind, this is before social media was able to pick apart everyone's bad side as well. So even somebody like Tom Brady today is smeared by he's friends with Trump or something like that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so this was before when Michael Jordan was just seen as a demigod, basically.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't really have that veneration of public figures today.
Certainly not 20 pages worth.
No.
I don't think.
Thanks for the memories.
That is a lot.
And that was only after the first three-peat.
Yeah.
He would come back again to win another three
as
2
number
years later.
45 and get fined for having... No, he got fined when he went back to 23, but he didn't tell the NBA that he was changing numbers or something weird like that.
Really?
When he came... Yeah, because he came back as number 45.
Okay.
But then... I think one game he just went back to 23, but it wasn't in the ledger or something weird like that, so he got fined. He probably didn't pay as many fines in his career as Dennis Rodman did in a single season, though.
Oh my God!
Gosh, fucking love Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah,
he is a fascinating character.
The bad boy.
Now he's the one who I believe goes over to North Korea and meets with Kim Jong-un and met with his father Kim Jong-il. He is the unofficial ambassador to the United States because he's actually released a bunch of prisoners of war.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, he's gotten a couple out, but he's about equally as crazy as Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, have you seen him recently? He's seen interviews or seen him on...
Yeah.
He's just a totally different character than he was in the 90s.
Is he, though? Is he really?
I don't know.
I think he's still just as sort of like this.
Yeah, I don't know. But I loved him.
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman was my favorite on
Rodman.
the Bulls, yeah.
I was always curious to see what kind of color hair that he'd come out, especially during the playoff time when he was changing up.
Yeah, for sure.
And the announcer at the beginning, number 23, Michael
Jordan.
The
crowd goes crazy.
Oh, man. As childhood memories go, that is one of those that just rings in my ears. I'll never forget that. Yeah,
1990s NBA was pretty sweet. The Supersonics, Seattle Supersonics, before they moved to... where did they move to? I can't recall. But yeah, now they got these dumbass teams like the Bobcats and the Pelicans.
Whatever. There's always weird teams.
The Hornets went back to Charlotte, I believe. But yeah, 1990s NBA was pretty sweet.
We'll see where this type of conversation ends up going.
What do you have?
Well, okay, so it's kind of sparked by recent news events that have been going on steadily over the course of the past year or so, which is, I don't know if you've heard anything about the teacher protests happening in certain states around the country. I think Kentucky and... There's two other states.
So there's states that basically this is going on right now.
Those that have the lowest funding for public education. Okay. You have all the teachers going on strike. Kentucky just passed a budget, and their state Congress overruled the governor's veto to add additional funds to the school system, putting additional tax on, I think, tobacco and home repair services to fund it. But anyway, when I saw that, I think to myself, how good is our education system right now, even in the best case scenarios, really? I mean, I don't know. And I wanted to kind of pick your brain as to, the value you feel like you got from either high school or even college, because you don't use your major right now in your business career. You were
so
what, a history?
It's funny that you mentioned that,
major,
because
right?
the thing that I personally got out of both high school and college, the one skill that I attained came from English and history classes. I don't remember jack shit from science. Don't remember jack shit from math. Don't remember jack shit from any of the what were they called? What were the classes called that you were like random ass classes that
like
you could
home economics?
No, yeah, like weird stuff like that. It started with the letter I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Like weird classes like that. But also, I really, really looked forward to going to English or history.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing that I probably walked away from was just critical thinking, reading, learning how to construct arguments, writing papers and everything.
Do you feel like you were the anomaly, though, among your classmates in having interest in critical thinking type things? I mean, how much time and energy did you actually put into the classes themselves? Like homework, tests, projects?
I can't remember. This was such a long time ago. This was my thing, though. At least in college, this was my thing. Maximize my social life, or optimize and just hang out all the time with my fraternity brothers and other girls, and then wait last minute to do a paper and spend like 20 hours in the library over the course of like 2 or 3 days, and then get an A on whatever it is that I was submitting.
See, and that's honestly, dude, that's kind of what I was circling the wagon to, because I feel like that's how you were in high school, where socialization was probably prioritized over any schooling. The number of times you ditched classes to just hang out.
No, I never really ditched class in high school.
You didn't?
Can't, no. I mean, you really, what were you gonna do? You couldn't.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know. I just know some, like Cooper would ditch.
I don't know. I don't recall. High school, I can't remember that type of stuff.
But I just remember you were a very social person.
Yeah. But yeah, I would just optimize hanging out and then put in the time, I wouldn't just blatantly
cram in the time.
It up, yeah for sure.
Yeah. Well, because I took a very different approach than most of my fraternity brothers. Like, I spent most of my junior year in the library, doing my senior thesis a year early. Like, that was sort of
smart.
That was the world that I was living in. But there were very few people. Minnesota Victor was like that too, always studying and working. But most people, yeah, it was more just like high school, an opportunity to socialize, an opportunity to like grow personally in different ways. But honestly, I look at how obsessed the kind of culture that we live in right now, which is, I can't help but think that our education system has failed us on those two different levels in pretty significant ways for us to have a society like we have right now that just seems such a mess.
Which levels?
High school and college.
Oh, okay.
And maybe elementary school, but primarily high school and college, because that's where you learn critical thinking. That's where you learn how to be a responsible human being. But I feel like most people
That's where you go to be groomed to be a pawn and to learn how to be an employee.
See, and that, I feel like in larger schools that may be true. Like, it's just a factory or whatever. But a place like Drake, it was, you will get out what you put in kind of thing. Like, you can be an independent, non-employee type figure.
Oops.
Really, Victor? Really?
Continue.
But if you choose to put in extra time and energy and find a passion,
anything,
obviously, but how much does the school encourage and facilitate that? And that's my point, is that it just doesn't... learning science, having like math and science and other things mandatory when we may not have any sort of interest in that, we're not going to remember any of the stuff that we learn, doesn't that count pretty much just more or less as a waste of time?
You know what would be really cool? So you know how right now, for the most part, I mean, you have like your regular classes and you have honors classes and you have AP classes,
Yeah.
But regardless of what level class you're in, it's all the same. Everybody's taking English. Everybody's taking, a social studies course. Everybody's taking math. Everybody's taking science. Everybody's taking the same thing.
Yes.
But I just thought right now, how sweet would it be, like in what was it? Like in Divergent, when they separate when you reach a certain age and like, okay, everybody.
We're gonna make you super proficient in one field.
Yeah, we're gonna make you super proficient. Like everybody in this area are only doing this thing. Everybody in this area, you guys are only doing this thing. Everybody in this area, you guys are only doing this thing.
I think Germany does.
So like, it would be sweet to like, and once you reach like high school, or like once you, that was voicemail. Once you reach like, maybe like, and the coolest thing would be like when you're a child, like figure out like when they're in elementary school, like, okay, what direction do they maybe want to go in? Because when you're a kid, like, you just want to do everything, or like you're really set on doing something, and then
you don't even know what
and
the
then reality,
the
reality doesn't set in, and you're not like, oh, maybe I can't do this. But like if you had some school system where it's like, okay, you're interested in this, all right, are you sure? Because you got to commit. You got to commit to this. And then they have a separate group of the people that don't fit into any of the groups.
Yeah,
The
what do they call them?
I can't remember.
In Divergent, the classless or the castless or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep, we just put them out into the gutters and let them do Hunger Games style there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're kind of like that right now already, where it's your SAT and ACT scores more or less dictate where you're going to end up in the spectrum.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it feels like we're almost there right now. It's like, what college are you going to choose, and what major are you going to choose? Because that's going to be your future. We're like halfway there already.
Or where you can, where it's more emphasized after high school to just take a year off to just explore the world, or just to do something
like the
Amish.
Like
go straight into
university. They have their crap. What's the name of it?
What?
When the Amish children. God damn it!
I'm blowing up right now. Okay.
Rumspringer.
Rumspringer? What's that?
When Amish children go through puberty and they determine, I forget what age it is, but in order to commit to the Amish way of life, they are supposed to go out there into the world and experience technology. I think it's the Amish. It's called the Rumspringer though, and it has to do, I can't remember if it's the Amish or if it's another community that's similar to that. I believe it's the Amish though, that they have their kids go out there and experience technology and sort of the vices of the world, and they get an opportunity to make the choice.
Really?
Yeah.
They let their kids make the choice?
Mm-hmm. Do you want to be part of the secular society, or do you believe that our way of life is going to make you happier? And most of them return home.
Yeah, because it's what they're familiar with.
Yeah. And I genuinely think that they are happier.
Yeah.
I mean, look at our consumerist culture right now. If you're living in a minimalist society where you grow what you need, you just do what you need.
Well, I've grown up in this, and I'm accustomed to this. I don't want to be like. There's no way I'd want to live the Amish lifestyle. Fuck that.
Yeah, no.
With all respect, like hell.
No, there are plenty of benefits,
no.
And I think that you're one of those that. I mean, how many times have people tried to tell you to upgrade your phone? Like, that's part of the culture. That's the pressure of the culture being like, and then it gets into your head like, well, maybe I should get a new phone. Oh, like, maybe, by the way, did you fix the brightness issue?
It fixed itself. So,
we were having some... Oh, it is back to bright.
It fixed itself. So, I don't know how that happened, but I will let you know the next time it malfunctions.
Yeah, but hey, it's still durable. It still works. And again...
But,
it's
here's the thing.
Amish.
Here's the thing. It's totally fine, but the last thing I want to do is have the brightness crap out on me when I'm driving somewhere and need directions, because that's super unsafe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless I have the setting where it reads me the directions, but I don't have it do that because I get fucking annoyed when it says in 300 feet turn right, in 100 feet turn right, in 50 feet, in 10 feet turn right.
Yes.
Like, okay, I don't need to hear all this.
You know what's kind of funny though is that I was watching Criminal Minds from this. It was from 2 weeks ago. And
how many seasons does that show have? Like 15?
It's at season 11 now, I think. Could be season 13.
Okay.
It's in the double digits. And so they always have some sort of subplot or whatever. And the subplot for this one was old is good, or like older is good, and it had to do with one of the agents and his wife or his girlfriend had his girlfriend was trying to get this agent a new phone, like a 2018 model phone, and he's like, listen, I don't know how many times we have to have this conversation, but I like things that I can trust and are old and reliable. And then he pulls out like a 2016 phone. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Old and reliable, really? It's like, I just don't trust technology these days. And I'm like, you have a fucking 2016 like Galaxy S or something like that. I'm like, really, writers of the show? Like, it's just, I know you're trying to be this like the old timey like use the telegraph because that's reliable kind of way, but you can't make the parallel when you're in such a technological phase that yes. The technological upgrades that we experience in our phone are going to have better features, especially for somebody who, say, an FBI agent is like
model.
It's like, okay.
Well. I just watched. I'm binge watching The Office, and I just started season 4, and I think it was like 1 or 2. I can't remember where, but one of the episodes was Dunder Mifflin is they're gonna start having people order paper supplies on the computer, and Michael Scott is like, technology bad, the old way is good, and he's going off to deliver these gift baskets, to make it personable, and he has a GPS system, and it's like, turn right, and Dwight's like, wait, what are you doing? He's like, I'm turning right. No, I think it says you want to turn right up here, and you see the intersection where he's at, and then it goes down to the map, and the little triangle is literally like 1/8 of an inch away from the intersection, but he's interpreting it as like taking an immediate right where you are right now, not like 10 feet in front of you. And he's like, no, it's saying turn right. It's no between. Why? No, we're not. There's a lake right here. Drive his car in the middle of a lake. Gosh, that show is so great.
Yeah.
That show is so great.
It is a funny show.
Dude, you would love that show. They say so many things that are just... Michael Scott is just like the most offensive, obnoxious character.
That wasn't Chris Pratt in there.
No, that was Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec
was Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Who was the guy?
Steve Carell?
No, not Steve Carell. The other secondary male character.
John Krasinski.
Okay, I wouldn't know then. Okay, so it's not a name that I would familiar. But yes, that is.
Gosh,
it is. It is.
The show is so damn fun. Like that's a show that makes you laugh out loud for sure. Not just like oh yeah, that's funny. I see what they did there. Just and the great thing is too about that show is, the punchlines are just as good as the nonverbal cues that they give to the camera.
Yes.
It's so great. It's brought me so much joy the last week and a half.
Have you watched Roseanne yet?
No, I'm not gonna probably not watch. I'm not gonna watch that show.
Yeah.
But I heard it's like
popular.
it's been.
It's very popular.
Yeah. Well, it was super popular when it came on 20 years ago, and now that it's back, it's like super popular again.
Yeah. And you wonder about instances like that because I do think that there, for good reason, that there's a lot of most TV shows out there lean progressive and embrace diversity or tend to be like non-confrontation or non-controversial, and it's very interesting when shows like Roseanne or Last Man Standing with Tim Allen come out. Because that got canceled. Last Man Standing had gotten canceled.
Did they bring it back?
They're petitioning, people are petitioning to bring that show back after the success that Roseanne saw, saying, look, like, if conservatives are made aware that
is he on another show that's not Last Man Standing? Tim Allen?
He might be doing multiple things right now.
I saw him on TV. I was at the gym and they have random channels on all the time. And I wasn't paying attention to what the show was, but I did see him in some show. I don't know if it was Last Man Standing or if it was maybe a different show. But I'm Googling this right now, which is why I am almost talking like a robot.
But I thought that you were leading somewhere with that. I'll let you.
Yeah, final episode, March 31st, 2017. All right. Never mind.
But you don't really see shows like The Office too much anymore, which, let's say, was pretty politically incorrect, honestly.
Oh, but it was intentionally politically incorrect.
Exactly.
So
it embraced its ignorance.
Yes.
And I feel like we don't really have too many of those shows today that embrace the ignorance while still being, like, good-hearted about it. And you can be like, I can laugh at this while not being, being okay with the offensive imagery or whatever.
It's so great. I can't believe I never watched that show when it started in high school. I was always watching Seinfeld.
Social media didn't exist to tell you how awesome it was.
No, I would hear about it, but my goodness, what a great show The Office is. Yeah. So funny. So damn funny.
Mine was The West Wing, my friend.
Yeah, it sounds real boring.
Dude. 8 seasons. 7 seasons. 7 seasons of a political drama / comedy. A little comedy, too. Very good acting. Martin Sheen. Love Martin Sheen. Richard Skiff. Who else? The
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe and the father in Get Out.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
He's probably most known in our generation for the character in Billy Madison, that he's like the dad. He's like Billy Madison's dad's right-hand man, and he goes crazy and, like, takes out a gun. You've never seen Billy Madison, have you?
No.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Oh
I'm
gosh.
staring at you with blank.
I know. I could
expression
tell. I can't remember his name, but yes.
But a lot of really big stars ended up going on to other really big. I mean, they was a good cast, and they all have sort of like this offhanded, like sarcastic type humor personality.
What are your top 5 favorite shows?
Top 5 favorite shows?
I'm going to list mine off right now, because after I started watching The Office, I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is definitely one of my top 5. In no particular order, my top 5.
Yes.
Office, Seinfeld, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, and what was the 5th one? I had it. Office, Seinfeld, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, and I think maybe it was Friends. I think I had Friends in there.
Friends.
I didn't start watching Friends until like 2 years ago, and like 12 years after it ended.
I was forced to watch Friends.
Oh, it's great.
Never.
Okay, what about you? Top 5? In no particular.
Definitely Game of Thrones is top of the, but obviously. And again, it's not like I'm a bandwagoner. I fucking read those books back in junior high school.
Okay.
I love Game of Thrones, and when they made a TV show of it, sold me right away. West Wing. For the sake of my childhood, between Home Improvement and Diagnosis Murder, which was a PAX TV show.
PAX TV
show that lasted quite a few seasons, but it was with Dick Van Dyke.
Really?
It was his second act.
Wow, I did not know that.
After he was done with the Dick Van Dyke show. So, and then, you know what? I would probably put Criminal Minds and Walking Dead in there as well.
Do you notice how I did
the early seasons of The Walking Dead?
I did not include Walking Dead in my top 5.
Why is that?
I didn't have space.
Okay. Yeah, I think the overall concept of The Walking Dead and the fact that they have been able to put together such a universe that tracks through, 8 seasons, 9 seasons?
8, I think this is season 8 right now.
8 seasons, and they have done an admirable job keeping the cast together, being able to continue building the productions to like larger and larger spectacles. So I can appreciate sort of the progression of shows like
I've noticed that your top 5 favorite shows are shows that are completely opposite to mine, because mine are, for the most part, all, with the exception of Game of Thrones, are all sitcoms.
Yeah, I think that speaks to our personalities.
Like
That's why you are a more enjoyable person to talk to at a bar than me.
Yeah,
you're the common
West
folk.
Wing, Diagnosis Murder. I was like, oh my God.
Criminal Minds.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.